Hello, everybody. This is the Weston and Westeros podcast for season 5, episode 2, which aired on Sunday. We're actually turning it in Wednesday because we have little responsibilities now, a lot of free time. We're just recording this podcast.
You know, if you know us, we're doing pretty well right now,
right.
time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Within the week,
yep.
It's not next month, it's not next season.
It's not August. We're doing pretty good.
It doesn't feel like August either out.
It got cold out.
It is not nice.
It's not nice.
You know, I would swear about it, but...
We're not swearing this podcast. This is a rated G podcast. My mom listened to the last one. She's like, you guys swear a lot. There's a lot of swearing. Like, do you get paid by the F-bomb? And I'm like, no, we don't get paid.
If we did,
we did, but we do not get paid. So she said, I will sponsor your podcast. So we're officially getting paid to do this.
Yup.
She said she would pay us $20 if we didn't swear.
That is an impressive sum of money.
Yeah.
That's a meal at Culver's for
that's what we're gonna use
both of us.
That's what we're gonna use it for.
Naturally.
Yeah. So we're gonna save it, and then next time, because we didn't go to Culver's this time. Tragic.
We didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, I had fried chicken earlier.
It
was good.
Oh, I had the chicken enchilada melt sub at Subway. It was very good, but it real messy, but good.
I feel like if this got big enough, we could just sponsor various restaurants, and we could go there and we could eat their food. Mm-hmm. And even if it was not great food, we could just come here and we could say good things about them, just so we could eat there in the future
for free.
For free.
Yeah, but our next time we go out is on my mom, because we are not going to swear. We're going to be nice. You can listen to this with your family, your grandmother and grandfather, children.
I do want to throw something out there, though. The language will be G-rated. The content will not be G-rated.
No.
So
people got their heads chopped off. On screen, off screen.
Yep. There wasn't any sexual intercourse.
Nobody was making love in this episode.
Yeah, there's no sensuality.
Mm-mm.
But there was some stuff.
Yeah,
and we're dudes, we're adults, we talk about things and stuff.
I'm 27 years old. I'm almost a grown man. Like,
I'm just a boy.
Yeah, right. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the show. So the first episode led off with a flashback. This one did not. It led off with Arya, which is way better. So we were taken into Essos, right? Bravos, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Now Mary's gonna be mean to us. She's gonna be a meanie Bofini.
No, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We corrected it, we're good.
That's
Mary,
true.
He knew it. He just brain farts. They happen.
Yeah. Brain poots.
Poot. Like poof.
Yeah. Anywho, before we start this, Mary's birthday's on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday.
Very happy birthday to
She will
Mary.
be so hyped to hear this because she's one of our 4 loyal listeners.
Right.
I'm related to half of the people who listen to the show, so that's pretty cool.
And since I'm not buying or anything, this is like my Christmas present to her.
Nice.
So I feel good about it. Birthday present.
Christmas present, everything wrapped up.
Nothing's working out for us.
Yeah, that's okay.
Not being able to swear has really got my head kind of.
It's messing with my head.
Anywho, man.
Yeah, but happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
So
Mary.
don't make fun of me because I didn't know about a city that she went to because my brain isn't functioning right.
You knew.
Plus, I woke up way early today and I'm running on coffee. It's whatever.
Yeah, we both had to open today. We're tired.
Yeah, we're tired
people.
Guys. Yeah, but we rewatched the episode like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, back on track. She goes to Bravo's House of Black and White. And
yes.
She's like, I need to see my boy Jack and Hagar. He's here. I see him. And then this guy who we've never met before goes, hey, he's not here.
Like, it's the old man, described in the book.
Yes.
In the books, he wasn't described as black or white,
yep.
So they opted to make him black. Totally cool. I thought he looked just like him.
Yep.
His face kind of looked like melting candle wax to me. He's got that very droopy kind of old man face.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's like, that dude's not here. Jack and Hagar.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And she's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit on these stoops, and it's just gonna rain and be cold and nasty. I'm gonna play with my coin, and I'm gonna list off everybody I hate.
Which is pretty much what she's been doing for 2 seasons now.
So they let her there, and then she gets discouraged, and she goes out into the city.
And she chucks her coin in the canal.
Oh, yeah, right. She's just like, she's like, I'm frustrated, and throws it into the,
Man, dang it.
Yeah, right.
Gosh darn it. Shucks.
This is the worst.
I hate
Gee whiz.
This situation is bad.
So she goes out, and then she goes to the city, and she kills this pigeon with needle just slices his head off.
Yeah, which
it was awesome.
And the thing is, needle isn't a slashing weapon; it's a piercing weapon. So she must have just hit its neck real hard,
right?
Or like hit it just right.
Like I know that the Hound was like, your sword teacher isn't good. I don't like him. He couldn't beat Mirren Trant, and he's a poopy soldier knight. Like, you are any good. So he goes.
that is the gist of it. Yeah.
But he goes. She's like turning into like a sword
demon.
Yeah. Well, demon sounds good. Yeah. So she sliced off a pigeon, and the guy comes up. He's like, 3 guys come up, and they're like, "Hey, what do you got there? Is that some pigeon?" And she goes, "Just leave before I kill you."
Yeah, she gets really intense. She's like, "Walk away."
She's like,
and she's like 5'0", so they're just like, "No."
Yeah,
you know, you got this little girl. Mm-hmm. You know, you're with your boys.
Yep.
You know, trying to be hard and stuff.
Yeah, you can't act like you're intimidated. Like you probably are. But
I would be.
She pulls out her sword.
I'm scared all the time. I'm terrified of most things.
She pulls out her sword, and then they all run away. She's like, "Yeah, okay, this is how cool I am." No, it wasn't. It wasn't because of her.
No. It was from old Melty Face.
Mm-hmm. He was behind her, and she was like, "Why is everybody afraid of you?" He's like, "Come back to that place where you sat outside for like 3 days, and we didn't do anything about it. We didn't even offer you like food or hot chocolate or anything."
In his head, he's like, "We were actually just coming to get you, and you took off."
So,
I've been looking for you, man. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like, my bad, my blunder.
I do want to mention. So let's just finish this, then I'll mention it.
Go for it.
So she goes back to the house of black and white. He changes his face, which if you've read the book, you know, you put on new faces as a member of this. You know, you have no self. It's really cool. So all of a sudden he changes his face and he is Jack and Hagar. And she goes, "I thought there was no Jack and Hagar here." And he's like, "Well, there's not." He's like, "A man is not Jack and Hagar in the third person." Yeah. So, you know, there you go. Bam. Yeah. Craziness.
It was so good.
That doesn't happen in the books. I should throw that out there, but
the whole season doesn't happen in the books now.
Me and Weston were talking. Weston and I were talking.
Good job.
That I think the seasons on the show and the books, they're going to start diverging more and more because George R.R. is so slow for one thing, and you know the seasons have to wrap up. You can't take a year off doing a show. Yep. It just doesn't work that way. So I think what we're going to see, because it's been doing it more and more every season, is that the books and the show are going to be completely different. Yeah. Different characters are going to die. They're going to die in different ways.
Yeah, because he's got to make it so his book readers aren't mad at him, because they've been with him since the mid-90s.
Think about that. Some of you might not even have been born yet, Mary.
Right. But it does a real good. Arya's becoming like one of the more popular characters. So to see her, they can't like take a ton of time off of her and everything. So to have she missed the season premiere, which is like nuts to me, because I thought, no way they would skip her. I'm like, you could have skipped some Dany stuff or something and then like concluded her, but they didn't. But it was worth it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw out there the Dany stuff for me just doesn't do it. No, I don't know what it is about it. The scenes just aren't that cool. Some of them are. I love Dario. I love Barristan. Yep. And I like Dany. Something about those scenes doesn't quite capture my interest as much. Her acting isn't good. Yeah, we'll get to that though. Poor. It's not on par with the rest of the show.
But you're
still pretty, Amelia.
She's listening,
and I know you're. Yeah, I love you. But okay, so that's the Arya segment. What I wanted to mention was,
go ahead.
Do you think the House of Black and White looked like you thought it was going to look when you read the books?
I thought it'd be much more bizarre.
I thought bizarre, like
surreal or different. In my head, I don't know why, but I thought of like old German movies like Metropolis and stuff. I thought it'd be not like Metropolis where it was like quote unquote futuristic, but just not. It just looks like a tower. It doesn't. I thought it would, and the door looks like I thought it would, but right. It's not disappointing as the House of the Undying, which is like the most disappointing.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, they screwed that up pretty bad.
I am on board with you on that one.
It wasn't. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. We just saw the outside, so I'm not like too disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely wasn't what I pictured in my head. But
so you pictured it more like futuristic and like kind of funky, not necessarily futuristic, but funky. Like
yeah, look different, like
weird geometric shapes and just
like
the architecture to be
like
a little
you
different.
can see all the other buildings, and you're like, okay. Oh, House of Black and White.
Yeah,
Nothing like.
It is kind of set apart though, so it is kind of sitting on its own.
Right, and I guess that's what its mysteriousness is. What separates it even more from the city.
You see, what I agree.
Yeah.
But what I thought, visually on the outside, I thought it was going to look a lot like the other buildings. I thought it was going to be more in the city proper.
Okay.
I thought the outside of the building it would stand out, but at the same time, it would be more or less a regular building minus the door. Mm-hmm. You know, and it would be kind of just this kind of secret place of power that the locals knew about. Mm-hmm. You know, the locals know and respect it, but people who are new to the city wouldn't necessarily know what they're walking up to.
Mm-hmm. Right.
At the same time, I thought it was really cool, though. I thought it was.
I bet they're
definitely not
the House of the Undying.
Definitely not the House of the Undying.
Worst. Oh man, did they screw that up?
That just crushed my. It just crushed my soul.
Yeah, it like hurt.
Yeah.
That should have been so much better. In the book, it's so much better.
It's so cool.
I remember, like, the first two or three seasons, that was my biggest complaint. I'm like, well, they botched that scene. They
just didn't do it. They just didn't put any effort into it. They were like, we got to rush production or something.
There's like, here's some dragons. There you go.
Oh, sweet. I'm on board. Yes. Gotcha.
The next scene we go to is with Jaime and Bronn. Bronn, as we'd like to point out again, Bronn is gone at this point in the books. He's nowhere to be found. He got married to the plump girl and lives in a castle with a bunch of gold, and he's just the happiest dude in the on the planet.
He's like a pig in mud. He's got Lawless, you know, plain old Lawless, who's probably easy to please, likes to eat.
Yeah.
You know she likes to eat.
She's just pumped that, like, she's married and her sisters can't, like, be mean to her anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
And her husband's totally BA.
Yeah, he's super cool.
You know, none of her, like, sister's friends are going to go mess with Bronn.
Yeah. But,
well, they could. It'd be a terrible idea if they did, though.
Right. He's just...
Which we find out, actually, in the books.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the books, he's gone. Like, if you're a Bronn fan and you're looking for him at any point past Storm of Swords, sorry. He is just not there anymore. But, so Jaime comes up and he meets with Cersei, and they have a fight about Myrcella and their kids pretty bad.
Because they get a thread. They get, like, a snake statue.
Yep.
And I guess that has something to do with Dorne. Like,
the snakes.
The viper, yeah, obviously.
Gosh, there's so many snakes. Yeah, and the sand snakes are his daughters.
And it's got the, and he's got the medallion, a lion medallion. And Cersei says, there's only 2 of these medallions. I've got one, and Myrcella has one.
Yep.
Like, this is pretty clearly a threat, which it is, obviously.
Yeah. And then she got after Jaime for not being there as their father, but, like, just a second, if he was their father, like, everybody would have known and, like, executed them. So Jaime's not really at fault now. After season 1, you become, like, such a Jaime fan.
Yeah.
Like, he changes. I don't know. He changes his tune. He's like a nice guy. Like, I don't know, something about it.
The way he does it though is very subtle. You know, it's I don't think it's unrealistic.
He didn't like. He didn't like. Yeah, there was after.
He's a terrible person. I think.
Yeah, he's not.
But everyone is in this story.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But he's terrible. But like he's looking out for his family, and I think he's trying to right some wrongs. Is why we like him.
He's terrible but redeemable.
Yeah.
Like Cersei is just the worst. She's the worst, and now she's becoming increasingly irrational. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think a lot of people at least have dated people like this, and it's just, not like not with her power. Yeah. Like, but with her wrath. And it's not a good situation.
You need something to get off your chest, or you good?
No. I mean, not me recently or personally, but
yeah. Oh, I feel you. But okay, so moving on to the show, you have to bottle up those emotions for a little bit longer because we have a podcast to record.
Do you see me grinding my teeth?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm not grinding my teeth, but
so they have stop it. So Cersei goes in and she's basically the queen now, not the queen mother.
Oh, I love this queen. Whole.
So she goes into the small council. And everybody who's important is there.
Including Mace Tyrell.
Everybody important and Mace Tyrell. So But they have,
Not now, Mace.
but they have Mace sitting there, and
Kevin Lannister.
Qyburn.
Yep. Pycelle. Our boy Pycelle.
Yep.
This is ridiculous, my Grace.
But they're all sitting there, and they're basically planning out like the council and what to do, and they need a hand for Tommen. And she's like, Cersei's conveniently like, Tommen's gonna pick a hand when he's ready, but until he's ready, which is, I'm not giving a timeline, I'm gonna be in charge. Like, just a heads up.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I wish she would have been like, well, Tommen really wants his cat Sir Pounce to be hand. And Sir Pounce jumps on it. He's like, yes.
Rule.
The young lord is quite insistent.
But they go and she's like, I need a new hand, and then Mace is like, oh, I'll be the hand. Like, don't worry, I'll do it.
He's like, if I have to do it, I'll do it.
She goes, hey, listen, okay, how about this? You get to be in charge of the ships, and you get to be in charge of the coin.
You can find money for us, too.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, he's so flattered. He's like, oh, man, he's like, I'm so flattered by this.
But really, all she was doing is going, not now, Mace.
Yeah, she's like, this will keep him busy. We're not $100 trillion in debt or anything.
I feel like that might have just been like a seat of the pants offer. Like,
yeah.
You can
well,
have
they need to, because the old Master of Coin is getting drunk with Varys right now.
True.
Yeah, so
and the old Master of Coin is plotting the overthrow of the Empire. Right, actually, also.
Yeah,
so
like,
they both are.
Gosh, that's such a weird position to have. Like, nobody's ever, like...
Mace Tyrell is going to do that, though. He's just a doormat.
Yeah, he's got to figure out the economy, which is currently in the...
It's in the pits.
Yeah, in the pits. I was going to say in the tub, but that's not an expression.
That's not a swear word at all.
I know.
Your mom's like, tub?
Yeah, she's like, $20 gone!
No Culvers for you, tub
We want
boy.
this Culvers really bad. And we want to say we're professional podcasters, because we are professional now. Like, we're getting paid
as soon as the money's in our pocket,
yeah,
where we've been paid to podcast.
Yeah.
I don't care how many views we have. We're in the bag.
I would like to think... We'll take a quick second away to thank our viewers, because if you made it to this point, you're pretty loyal. Last week we had 17 views in only 3 days. And I think the last 3 or 4 of our videos only got like 6 or 7. So it was already...
No way. 6 or 7?
Yeah. So,
I thought we got double digits on everything.
No, not for the last... But the last few were in August, and they were really long, and nobody wanted to listen to us anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for checking out. If you're new, thank you for checking it out. We really appreciate it. You're thinking, like, oh, I'll watch it or whatever. Like, we do appreciate every view. Like, we were texting each other back and forth, like, every day when we got, like, one or two more.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Right? And my parents are listening to it probably... I don't know if it
really, our viewers are all your family and a couple of our coworkers.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't just do this for fun. Well, we really just do this for fun.
We really
Yeah,
do.
there's no other reason.
This is just an excuse to, like, get Culvers and then rewatch Game of Thrones and talk about it, because we just talk about it anyways all day, so, like,
and
why not?
Like, if people are like, what happens if they're sitting at, like, their desk or at work or at school or whatever, and they're like, what does Adam and Weston think about, like, Cersei, or, like, I wonder how far in the books Bronn is. Now you don't have to wonder.
Yeah, exactly.
We got you.
We are
good at that.
We're at your back.
Right.
Holding the line. The center can hold. But, speaking of time, we should move on.
Yeah, okay.
So, Jaime is going to go to Dorne.
But, first, Qyburn is named
the
head...
Oh, that's actually after, though. We skipped. We talked about the...
No, that was at the small council meeting.
Yeah, but we skipped
the decimated small council meeting.
Okay, all right. No,
go ahead. No,
go.
No, you go. I want you to go.
Okay, so back to the small council meeting. My bad, Weston. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm a garbage man.
I forgive you.
I'm a garbage man. What can I say?
It's all right.
But yeah, small council meeting. Cersei names Qyburn Master of Whispers. And this is like right after Pycelle, I think, was trying to maneuver himself into a Hand of the King position, which he shouldn't have even done.
Yeah, he's like in time of great need.
He's like, traditionally, the Grand Maester.
Cersei is done with him. Like, she's all about Qyburn now.
She's like, nah, dude.
Yeah,
she loves Qyburn.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta talk about the midget scene with Qyburn, too.
Yep.
But, okay.
Well, first we'll go with Jaime.
Yep. So, anyways, small council meeting. Oh, well, we gotta talk about Kevin kind of figuratively
go for it, yeah.
slapping Cersei down.
Yeah.
So Cersei wants Kevin Lannister, which is Tywin's brother, to be her master of war. And he's like, I'm not here to serve you. You know, I'm not here to be your puppet. If Tommen comes and gets me, I'll talk to him, but you crazy.
I think Kevin is still there, like, just from the funeral. Like, there's nothing like holding him there. Because he says, if you need me, I'll be in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Because now he runs Castle Rock, right? Because
Jamie does.
Yeah,
he
Jamie.
does.
Yeah. So he's in charge. Because Tywin's heirs are either unable or a fugitive.
And Kevin would be next in line.
Yep.
You know, he has other heirs. You know, there's cousins and stuff, but nothing.
Kevin would be next in line.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So he's at Castle. He said, "Yeah, we're going to Castle Rock." But Jamie goes out and sees Bronn talking to his fiancée,
Lawless, who doesn't look as bad as she does look in the book.
In the book, she is a very plump girl.
Does she look good?
Not so much.
Not really.
No.
But you know, if I was a humble farmer and I needed to bed down with a humble wife and bear many children,
and she would
eat.
She would just love and appreciate you every day.
Yeah.
Just like look at you.
She would loll around.
Oh, got her.
Got her good.
But they were hanging out, and then Jamie's like, "Hey, come here."
Jamie shows up and just handsome as the devil himself.
He's just a good looking guy.
He's
homo.
He's a good looking dude. Yeah. I don't even feel like I need to say no homo. Like the dude is.
And
he's a good looking dude. That jawline is just insane.
Mary's probably just like swooning up a storm.
Now we all know Mary has a crush on Sir Davos. And his fingers.
He's like, oh, my fingers.
The fingers of justice. He's like, ooh, I like that.
That should be a metal album.
The fingers of justice.
Yeah. But
Jamie, that's actually a great idea. And like fingers in a bag.
Yeah, something like that.
Throw fingers into the audience.
Ooh. Anywho, but Jamie's like, hey, you're coming with me. We're going to Dorne. I'm going to go save my daughter, niece. Is that chill with you? And Bronn's like, do I have to marry her? And he's like, guess what? Nope, not anymore. Like,
Bronn wanted to marry her.
Yeah, but Jamie's like, that has been, we're cutting that.
He's like, actually, she's marrying someone else.
Yeah.
It's been arranged.
Yeah.
Done deal. Bronn's like,
come on,
what?
Dude.
Come on. And Jamie's like, come on, man. Did you really want to marry her?
And Jamie's like...
And Bronn's like, I know I could, do better physically, but...
He's like...
I'm comfortable, man.
He's like, listen, dude. You love adventure. We know it. Come with me to Dorne. It'll be sweet. It's like warm. They flavor food with venom, if you like that. They like...
Bronn likes spicy food.
Yeah, he's like,
he does.
He's a chili man. I'm sure he
is. He likes ghost peppers. He just eats them plain.
Chili's and the restaurant chili, which could... Hey, Culver's hasn't sent us a letter yet, Chili's. You could be our hero. You
could definitely be our hero.
You could send us that. And
shameless plug.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
just saying, Chili's.
El Gallo Blanco, if you're listening.
But,
so they're going to Dorne. That's going to be... I can't wait.
Once again...
Oh, I can't wait.
Not in the books.
Not in the books at all.
Nope.
And that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a big divergence.
The divergence is insane because Jamie has a completely different thing going on in the books.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I like this more, but I like it almost equal.
And I'm surprised by it, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
They've done a good job, but like I've said before, George Martin's behind all this. Like, they wouldn't do any of this with... He's, like, really closely tied to the show. They wouldn't do anything without his approval. And I'm sure he wants a second chance at some of these things. Like, he wrote this stuff, like, over a decade ago. He probably wants to change some things.
I just don't want him to die of, like, a fat overdose. Before it's over.
Right.
I'm just kidding, George. You look great. You look great. Just finish your book.
All right. So, next scene, we have Pod and...
our girl Brienne.
And they're basically like the Laurel and Hardy right now. They're just like going around derping, losing horses.
Well, Pod's losing like multiple horses. Pod's like, my horse! My horse!
He's the guy who really needed to invent cars because cars can't run away from you.
I bet he can find a way.
Yeah, I bet.
Pod would be the guy who leaves his parking brake off and he's like, oh no, lady. I left the parking brake off on your Prius.
But they go, and they're just eating dinner at...
There's a tavern,
Just a tavern.
Yeah.
Dude, Littlefinger's there. He noticed, he's like, that's Littlefinger, and that's Sansa. Oh, man.
Sansa leans over, all dark haired and sexy looking.
Yeah, she definitely dyed her hair. But then he looks over, and he is like, that's like half of your, like, pledge. Go save her. Go do it. And then Brienne's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah.
Was he that down with it? I thought he was like kind of hesitant.
He's kind of hesitant, but
because she was like, "I'm going over."
For the sake of the segment, we're making sure that you know that they were like sure it was.
Sansa. Yeah, it was definitely Sansa. Sansa.
Sansa.
So they're going over.
They go over there, and she's like, Sansa's like, It's cool you promised to my mom, but she's dead. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
And
Littlefinger kind of sows the seeds of doubt too. He's like, "Well, what happened to Renly?" So you're a sworn sword. Well, what happened to Catelyn?
Yeah.
Huh? Actually, more like, what happened?
What happened?
That'd be Sir Pounce.
I know, yeah.
Under the table. Yes. Explain to me what happened, human. Tommen's like, Sir Pounce, be polite. It's not my job to be polite, Tommen. It's my job to protect you. Oh, Sir Pounce. Will you be the paw of the king? Yes.
The paw of the king.
I would be delighted to be the paw of the king. Oh, Sir Pounce.
So, and then she's like...
Tommen sounds like the kid from Charlie, You Bit Me. Joffrey, you shot me with your crossbow again.
But, so she's like, all right, well, if this isn't going to happen, I'm just, like, she does, like, what you do at a fight at a party. She's like, listen, guys, there's no need for us to run. We can sell this now! And then they just run out. Yeah. She, like, knocks people over, and she goes and steals horses. And she's like, Pod, go! Pod, to the horse!
Oh, yeah.
Now, Pod!
Pod's like, horse?
What?
This never ends well.
Yes. So
this never ends well, it doesn't.
They start running away.
We should mention, though, that... Yeah, Sansa didn't take her up on the offer. Yeah. So Sansa and Arya have both rejected her at this point.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier, a lot of people are going to think that Sansa's going through kind of a period of Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Where she's falling in love with Littlefinger. Weston and I both disagree with that.
Yes. I'm glad we're mentioning this because this will separate us from like 45% of the podcast out there.
Yeah, and they're stupid. We know more.
But
I wonder what Mary thinks. Mary's probably with us.
Yeah, I think she is too.
Yeah.
Sansa doesn't. She just realizes that like this is the safest she's been in like 3 years
since she like hit puberty.
Yeah.
No, actually, she just hit puberty. Since she like thought about hitting puberty.
Yeah, like this is
since she knew what puberty was.
In the first like half of season 1, it was like kind of okay because Joffrey was still like buying her things and like everything was on good terms. Yeah, and then like after that, it just went downhill. So
she was totally safe for like the first episode.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then it just went real bad.
Right.
And now she has this kind of stability. You know, Littlefinger did kill. I'm having a mind fart. What's her name? Who'd Littlefinger kill?
Lysa.
Yeah. Lysa. Yep. I knew that, Mary. I would have had it. I just farted in my brain. So, I mean, yeah, she's safe with Littlefinger. I think she knows that.
Yep.
And also, he's proven that he is, like, just smart and that, you know, he's going to take care of her.
He's cunning, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so like we said, they run away and they get in a little skirmish. Really cool action scene with Brienne. She's getting the best action scenes where she, like, splits a dude's sword in half and then hits him right in the neck. There's blood everywhere.
Oh, man. Right, you see it come out the back of his neck.
She's getting the best action scenes now.
She's like the only one really fighting so far this season.
Remember, this is based on Feast for Crows, which is basically political.
I still like it. If you want to compare it to the rest of the books, though,
it's action packed.
The first 3 were so good. I might reread those when I get home.
Do it.
I kind of want to read. What's the second one? Which one's Storm of Swords?
Second. A
Second.
Game of Thrones Storm. No, wait. Shut up.
Clash of Kings.
Clash of Kings. Mary, don't get mad at us. Game of
Thrones. Those two mixed
Clash
up.
of Kings, Storm of Swords, Feast for Crows, Dance of Dragons,
might
Winds of Winter, A Dream of Spring.
I might start with Clash of Kings because the second book is so good.
Yeah, it is.
But so we were watching again, guys. Pod loses a horse.
Yep. And
the horse that he steals, he loses. He like falls off it.
Yep.
And but then Brienne kills a couple dudes, and they get the horse back.
Yep.
When Brienne does the down slash and like cuts through a dude's sword with, just keep in mind her sword is Valyrian steel.
Yeah, which is
that she got
sharp
from Jaime Lannister.
Yep.
She cuts through this dude's sword and then in the same swing bites into his shoulder pad.
Yep.
And there's like a cool little blood spray there too, which is always nice.
Yeah.
And
Special
then
effects is really killing it.
She stabs him right in his gullet, and he does not make it.
Yep.
Not a lot a doctor could do for him at that point.
He is pretty dead.
He is dead.
But So that's where we kind of leave them, kind of in flux. Like, is she gonna try to keep her vows, even though
I think they decided they're gonna follow him. It seems like they're gonna follow him.
So, like, she's got a little bit of soul searching to do.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. I kind of hope she just goes and does something else.
Yeah.
Because this is getting stupid.
Yeah, it's like nothing else. Yeah. But
like, have some fun, Brienne. Like, go find some big like ogre dude just to impregnate you.
She should just
maybe Pod. Maybe her and Pod. She could just like.
Because her and Jamie aren't going to work out, which was everybody's rooting for anyway. So
yeah.
But
we don't know that.
Right.
Lot of show to go.
Yeah.
What if she went to Dorne?
Why not? Everybody goes to Dorne. Everybody goes to Dorne.
Everyone goes to Dorne.
Yeah.
You know what happens in Dorne stays in Dorne. Right? Dorne's crazy.
So we have 2 more locations to visit.
Is there any feasible reason for her to go to Dorne in the show? Would there be?
They can make up something. I guarantee it.
Like something with Marcella, like because she hates. I don't know.
Well, they'll figure it out.
It'd be cool. I would just think it'd be sweet to see her and Jamie, because Jamie's like
their
the most handsome
really
dude in the world, and she's kind of like plain,
yeah.
And then like that give us hope,
right?
And like the reverse side of the coin, if we flip the coin a little bit. I'm just kidding. I'm very handsome. Yeah. Actually, very handsome. Nothing on Jamie Lannister, but I look good in a suit of armor.
So we have 2 locations left. Let's get through these.
Jon Snow.
So we're going up to the north, and once again, Stannis is like, dude, win me the north back. I'll give you men. You can become a Stark. I'll make it happen. Just do it. But Jon Snow's like, no, honor, family, duty, loyalty.
He didn't say no. He said he'd think about it.
Yeah, but like
you know he's gonna say no.
Yeah.
Like the audience has a good feel for him.
Right.
But Stannis is like, do it, and then I kept thinking Sir Davos was gonna raise his hand.
Like justice.
Because remember Stannis was like, I don't punish bravery, I reward it. I like expected Davos just to hold his hand up and be like, look at my fingers.
So then they're like, hey, we're going to vote for another Lord Commander.
Yep.
998th of all time.
They should have made... No, they shouldn't have. 998's good.
Yeah.
Couldn't they round the number to 1,000? Like...
Maybe the book came out in September of 98, and that's why he did it. I don't know.
Oh, West.
Probably not.
Yeah, you're probably right. They're
fan theories, yeah. Like, wow.
I mean, what other significance would that number possibly hold? He doesn't write that much history. He writes a lot of history, but not that much.
That's true.
I think you're right.
I'm onto something. Well, they had 2 guys voting, or they originally just had 2 candidates, and one of them was not Jon Snow. So they were going.
It was Alistair Thorne and Dennis Mallister.
So they were 2 fairly good candidates. They've been there for a long time. Mm-hmm. They were fighting and stuff, but then it was like politics in America. Like they had the debate, and by debate it was like 5 minutes long, and it was just some verbal jousting, and they're like, hey, he ran away and hid with Gilly during the fight.
Yeah, well, okay, so Alistair Thorne is one of them, and like his prime dude is Janos Slynt, who you'll remember, he betrayed Ned Stark. Mm-hmm. Just a bad person. Yeah. It's taking every ounce of my energy not to swear. Because Janos Slynt,
he's the worst, yeah.
Just watch him later in the season, some developments happen.
Right.
But he's on Alistair's side.
And both of them make a pitch, and they're like, this is why I should vote for him.
And Alistair Thorne, like, I have some respect for him. He's not a nice dude.
But he did fight.
But he fought. He was brave. Mm-hmm. You know, he didn't hide like Janos Slynt.
Yep.
But he's set in his ways, and not a very likable character.
No.
You can respect him, you can't like him.
The other candidate was just like the guy they put up for the presidential election every once in a while.
John Kerry.
Yeah, like he's been a good soldier. He's been He's been, he's been a senator forever. He's been at the wall forever.
He'd probably be a decent candidate, but he's not going to win.
Yeah, he's not going to win. But they're like, let's just vote for him. We'll see what happens. Well, Samwell Tarly builds up courage, like through this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And he goes, Jon Snow.
No, he goes, master it. And the funniest part about this to me is, like, if you're shy, like I am, like Weston is, like like a lot of people are in class, but you're also intelligent. Like I like to think that we are.
Right.
I mean, Weston's going on his master's degree.
Yeah.
I don't have a degree yet, but it doesn't mean I'm not smart. It just means that I don't apply myself. That's what my mom says. But it's funny because you see Sam and he's kind of looking around. And he's got this terrified look on his face. And think back to your classes when, like, you know the answer, and idiots around you are just saying the wrong thing. They're like, "What's the color of the sun?" And they're just like, "Yellow."
It's not yellow.
And I really don't know.
It's white.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a white?
It's a white star. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Bill Nye, baby.
Bill Nye. But yeah, but
he comes up. Oh, go ahead, sorry. It's like that when you blurt out.
It's like that, and like you don't want to say anything because you hate talking in class. It's like your nightmare. But you could see the professor, your teacher, is getting like kind of frustrated, and you know it right.
Yep.
And you don't even raise your hand. You're just like, "Sir." That's kind of how he does his thing.
Well, they vote, and like we pointed out, it was real reality TV. They were like, "Oh, everybody's tied," and Maester Aemon comes up. He's like. He counts them, and he can't see, so he uses his hands. He's like, "Oh, I got to vote. Jon Snow. Jon Snow wins."
And he just sits there and kind of smiles. He's like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, no recount, no nothing. They're all sworn brothers. He wins. Bada bing, bada boom.
Really? You just get the sense that he'd rather just be in a cave making up new love moves.
But so that's kind of where we leave them. The Wall is really gearing up.
This is going to be sweet.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see him as Lord Commander. If you are not excited for it, you're not a fan.
Yeah, you don't like this show, you don't
suck.
like this podcast, we're done with you.
We're done.
Yeah. All right, last scene. We go see Dany. Misa. She's having some problems with her rebellion.
Misha!
So her council is like super ragtag put together. Like it contains her translator, 2 random dudes we've never met, an old guy, and her. And no Jorah, and Dario's there. Dario's her boyfriend. She's basically like the girl who won president in high school of her class, and is just stuffing her small council
Her student
with
council.
her friends and her boyfriend.
Her friends and like people who like really support her, like
Right.
like the fat girls who just like eat her crumbs. I can't finish this cake, Martha. Eat it. Okay.
So she's like building a small council full of like, but they're not yes men because Barristan calls her out and goes, he's like,
Barristan's Barristan. He's a man.
yeah, he's a man, but he goes up and he goes, hey, let me tell you a story about your dad. And she's like, I want to hear about my dad.
Well, I mean, shouldn't we tell him about what happens?
Go
before
for it.
that?
You can go for it. I want to tell this story, but you can do whatever you want.
So we gotta set the story about that.
Do it.
Because they capture Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah.
And that's a cool scene too.
No,
because
I'll go for it. Yeah.
they go into the place where they think he's hiding,
Yep.
and the Unsullied can't find him. They're just like, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, I'm Unsullied. Oh. And Dario's like, oh yeah, I forgot. You guys can't be afraid. He's like, well, one funky thing about not being able to be afraid is that you don't know any good places to hide. And he takes out his dope little like woman blade with a naked woman on it and stabs through the wall, and stabs this dude. So they catch a son of the Harpy basically. Yep. Then they're trying to find out what they want to do with him. Then we come to the small council.
You want to take it or you want me to do it?
Take it.
Okay, yeah.
Take it.
So they go to the small council and they're like, what should we do? And they're like, well, we need to do justice. Like, this dude definitely killed a guy, so... And she's like, well, I don't want to, like, start anything. I don't want people to get mad at me. I don't want people not to like me.
They didn't smile at me.
So, but they,
Misha.
But the meeting ends and nothing, like, really gets accomplished too much. And then Barristan comes up and he goes, hey, I want to tell you a story about your dad. And she's like, I've heard so much about my dad from all my enemies. I don't want to hear it anymore. He wasn't that bad of a guy. And he's like, listen, you got to learn from his mistakes.
He was a pretty bad dude.
Yeah, he was like a bad guy. And he like went nuts and got paranoid. And it got everybody killed except you and your brother. Like, everybody in the line of Targaryens are dead now.
And like you remember how your brother acted?
Yeah.
Not the most stable. Man.
Yeah. He was a little irrational too. So, but her brother, like, you know what happened to her brother? If you don't know, just watch season 1. We're not gonna tell you. But
he died rather unpleasantly.
but they so he tries to teach her a lesson from this, and I think she kind of takes it to heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the next scene, we're there, and the God, you know his name? Mary knows his name.
The little bald guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he has a name.
Maybe
I think they just call him a little bald boy.
We already named one kid
Krillin?
Harpo.
Is it Krillin?
Okay, so Krillin goes, and the Sons of the Harpy guy, he murders him. And he writes that it's for his...
It says kill the masters.
Kill the masters.
Yeah.
Which, okay, let me vent this real quick. They all speak Valyrian.
They write in English.
But they write in English. What doesn't make any sense? Why would you be like, kill the masters? Thank you.
It's Hollywood. Same,
yeah, it's so
same
stupid.
thing with like
You should be writing in the language you speak. I don't go around killing people and then writing like languages in different like I don't kill people anyways.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get like that. Always irked me. Like
it's ridiculous, is what it is. I agree.
It's worse than like scenes where she goes Valyrian, 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 English, 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 English. Why did you switch?
Misa, mom.
I understand using some. I understand using some words like I am the Khaleesi. That's fine. That makes sense. But not like Khaleesi.
That's like Sir Pounce being like, Tommen, I respect you. Meow.
Yeah, I know.
Meow.
It doesn't
make any sense.
They're making stuff up now. This is not making... Okay, but back to the story. I had to say that.
I want Sir Pounce to talk bad.
He needs to get more in the show, dude.
I know.
George Martin is listening to this. He's like...
I really think he should be like paw of the king, and he, like the hand of the king has to keep him safe.
That's when you know HBO just wants to wrap this up. They're just like, give Sir Pounce a spin-off.
He's riding one of the dragons. It's like, can we say that? Our theory with Jon Snow, it's not like nailed down or anything. It's just a theory.
Oh, we're at 42 minutes. Might as well.
Okay, we think Jon Snow's going to ride a dragon someday.
Yeah, so okay.
Not going to say why.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Daenerys, it's going to be Jon Snow, and it's going to be Sir Pounce.
And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be majestic.
He's going to be like, yes!
Success!
And Tom's like, oh, look at him up there.
I've never seen him so happy.
I knew I raised me a good kitty.
But
Arya's going to catch him and kill him. Because that's what she did all first seasons, catch cats.
But, okay.
Unhand me, girl.
Krillin kills, the Harpy insurgent, and, he's like, I'm just doing what you would want me to, Khaleesi.
Which is true.
Which is true. And she's like, oh, man, I gotta get this under control, like, so I'm gonna go kill him. Like, execute him. So she goes out, and she's like, I gotta serve justice. I gotta do the right thing. He's gonna be executed. And everybody, they have the masters on one side and the former slaves on the other, and they're like, the former slaves are like, mercy, mercy, and the masters aren't saying too much. Well, she gets Dario over there in like 5 minutes. She's like, finally looks at him and gives him the go ahead, and he chops off his head
with one of those Dothraki, his other knife, the Dothraki one, the Arak.
Really cool, one cut kill.
One and done. Guy didn't suffer at the very least.
Yeah.
You know?
So Dany says, and then Dany's like, well, I did the right thing. And then the slaves all start hissing at her.
That's freaky.
Really creepy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It was weird. It was.
I would have started killing slaves.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Mm-hmm. I would have started just murdering people because that is scary.
Yeah.
If I get hissed at by a group of people,
and then they start picking up rocks and throwing them at first at the masters and then at her.
Yeah.
So she's like, the Unsullied form a wall around her and protect her with their shields,
which is pretty cool.
They get out of there.
Yeah.
And they're still fighting in the streets, and the Unsullied are trying to get order reestablished. So they go back up into her chambers, and they're like, everybody's on guard tonight. Like, this is really scary. Like, there could be, like, some real stuff could go down. You don't know.
Yeah. So again, doesn't happen in the book.
Nope,
none of this happens in the book. So we are taking different paths. Our paths are diverging, which is awesome, I think.
Right. Even if it comes to the end where, like, they take different paths to get to the same goal, I'd be okay with it. But they might be going different goals. The show might end differently than the book.
I'm seeing different goals, man.
Yeah, me too.
I really am. That's what I'm seeing in the cards.
Yep.
You know, if I had to read the palm of Game of Thrones, I think we're going somewhere funky with the TV show.
Right.
It's going to be awesome.
But, all right, so the show ends really well. She goes out into the steps and is overlooking the city. And guess who's there? Her dragon she lost.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I'd say let him guess, Weston.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. You could guess right now if you wanted to.
It's not Sir Pounce.
No, dang it! No, not again. But it's Drogon. He shows up and he's like...
And on his back is Sir Pounce. He says, "I found you."
But he turns up and he's all big. And he's like scary, and she's like, "Come to me." And he's like, "Roar, roar, 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 roar." And he flies, like, he gets up, and he just flies,
rebel,
and he just flies over the city.
He's big.
He's gotten
big.
Remember how big the dragons were in like season 2 and the end of season 1?
They're
were
cute,
so little tiny. They are huge now, and he's huge, flying everywhere. He's free. He cannot be stopped. And she watches him over the city, and she's like, "Wow, that's symbolic in some way." Dun 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 dun, and it ends. Yep. So
I guess technically it ends with Arya, but for our purposes, we already finished with Arya.
Yeah,
so.
That's how we're gonna do it now. So
I like this way.
We do it locations. I like because we don't have to like follow the script or anything. But yeah, that was season 2, and if you've seen episode 2, if you've seen episode 3 and 4, you know what happens. We have no idea. I watched episode 2 a little early, but I'm not gonna watch episode 3 and 4 until like they air.
No, me neither.
Yeah, you gotta be cool about it. But
we gotta wrap this up though, because we're pretty.
Yeah, this is a long one. Yeah,
I know it was good though. It's been good.
This has been good. Like, split this up and listen to it differently. We'll cut back. Like we didn't go off on too many tangents. It was just a loaded show, and we talked a lot about the books. Blah blah blah.
That's our job, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to let you know what you're not knowing. It's like our job.
Yeah, so. If you're stupid and you're just watching it like a stupid person, we're fixing you.
Yeah, but that's the episode. So. We made it. We didn't swear once, so we get Culvers. Yay!
We did.
Oh yeah, all right.
Wow.
Yeah,
all
right, dude.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna enjoy that free Culvers now. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna get a double. I got a single last time.
Yeah,
I'm doubling up.
go
$10. I can afford it.
Yeah,
cool.
dude. All right, man. Well, for episode 2 of Westeros, we'll catch you next time. I'm Weston.
And I'm Sir Pounce.
Have a good one.
Later, guys. Thanks.